Let's talk about it.
Here we go. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Emma's Bunker. I'm trying to figure out if I'm a narcissist. And I get the irony of me doing a podcast, my podcast, called Emma's Bunker by Emma Willmann, with the theme song that's like, Emma. Wondering if I'm a narcissist. I get the irony in that. But it's something I'm really self-conscious of. You know, worried about even. I want to tell you guys how it came up. And I want to share it because maybe you are a narcissist too. You know, and then we can find each other when social distancing is over, and then we can hold hands, all of us, all across the land, and look at ourselves. I don't even like looking at myself, so that's a flaw in that narcissistic assumption. I'm going to talk about this, and then also because it's also important to know the traits of one, so in case you're dating one, you can go bing bang, boom, shit, fuck. What was I putting out there that was attracting this motherfucker? Uh-oh. Those are my own sound effects, not added by post-production engineering. That's me. Start making those noises, and then the narcissist in your life will be like, are you doing an impression of me? And you'll go, no, motherfucker, I was fucking making weird noises. You make weird noises? And they go, I don't know. Bring it back to me.
How do you do that?
So here's the deal. It's come up in relationships before where they'll say that, you know, I've had girlfriends say, you know, that it never in the beginning. Never in the beginning. What they'll say, you know, you put your career first. Can we just talk about something besides career stuff? And the truth is, I talk about career stuff more, the more insecure I am about career stuff. And I am my business. So I'm talking about, if it's talking about work, then I am also by default of that talking about me. I do think that everyone kind of is their business too. And I mean, I understand, you know, Chris Rock had a great joke about, you know, there's jobs and careers. And you're not your job. And you aren't your job. And that's true. And I do believe in a division of that. Like when I sold educational travel, I'm using the term sold loosely. You listen to my episode with Rainer Greenberg, you'll know I never sold anything. Lied my way into the job. Got the job. Failed. Never sold a goddamn thing. Got fired because I told a bunch of teachers you didn't need passports to go to Russia. Oops. Somebody cheated in I almost just said history class. That's not even right. Someone cheated in geography class. I mean, you know you fucking cheated when you're confusing your history and your geography. Cut to me at like 26 being like, yeah. Not all the kids need passports. Just sign up for the trips. I gotta make my numbers here. I'm betting -500. So I use that like very, very, very loosely, but I didn't think of that as my job, but I remember kind of like craving that. Like I almost become exhilarated by not having that separation. I don't know. Maybe that's unhealthy. Maybe I make myself my work so I don't have to be in touch with myself and really be in the moment because I'm always like, I got to do this to get to this and I got to do that to get to that. You know, I don't know, but it's definitely been a problem in relationships before. And yeah, it's embarrassing. I'm like pretty ashamed of it actually. Because in the beginning, they'll be like, oh, you're so sweet. And then as it goes on, I'll be like, well, you're sweet, but you do think about yourself a lot. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker. Yup. Yeah. And I swear on my niece, I try to be upfront about that shit. I really do. You know, my mom said I was sweet for something that I'm not going to share. Because if I share, then it's like I did that just for the kudos on it. I don't want kudos on it. So I did this something. She goes, you're so sweet. You're so thoughtful. And I go, yeah, I'm thoughtful, but I'm self-absorbed. And she went, yeah, it's true. She's like, you can be selfish. You can be incredibly selfish. I go, yeah, I just think for myself. But then I was thinking, maybe I just think for myself because growing up, I always was very taken care of, like very taken care of. And my parents love me so much. And the older I get, the more I appreciate that love and that desire for involvement. But in a lot of ways, I was by myself a lot as a kid. My parents had a very messy divorce. My sister lived with my mom. My brother lived with his mom, different moms. And I lived with my dad. And I had some choppy stepmom situation for a little bit. Not my stepmom now is wonderful, but not when I was in high school, not when I was living at home. And just, I felt like, you know, I was really overweight. I was in the closet for being gay as a motherfucker. even though I was giving blowjobs on the side. And I say that because, if I was giving blowjobs and I wanted to at the time, I didn't want to sexually, but I'm a fucking people pleaser. But the more I'm reading about narcissism, it's like, well, you did that just to get the accolades. Well, in the beginning I did, I didn't like giving blowjobs. I'm going to be totally honest. I'm all the way gay. Just whatever. My sister's all the way straight. I'm all the way gay. I think in the womb, I ate up all the testosterone. Not that that makes you gay, but that's a theory I have. Because I'm as stereotypically gay as my sister is straight. I was trying to write about it. We look like a before and after campaign for going into an all women's college or something like that. It's like go in like this, picture her, come out like this, little video of me being like, what's up? You guys going to the road breaker? I'm so gay, I don't even think really about being gay. I think about it in the context of entertainment when it's like, you're auditioning for this character, gay motherfucker number 78 through 1. You're auditioning for all of them because you fit that description. I don't even think about it. Sometimes I meet these goddamn fucking gay people. It's all they talk about. Bring everything back to that. I'm like, hey, I care about other things too. It's an easy out. I used to even turn down gay comedy shows because it's like the bar is lower. For real. But it is what it is. Used to turn them down, and then Netflix was going to do this fucking gay comedy show. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And then when they posted the list, I was like, well, how come they didn't ask me to do that? Even though I was saying I didn't want to do that. And then, you always want to get invited to the party so you can reject the invitation. Isn't that the best? Isn't that the best? So, the narcissistic thing. All right. So, I don't know. So, it's come up in relationships and more than once. Enough where I've said before, I really try to be upfront in the beginning. I go, look, I'm really focused on my career. And in the beginning, 100% of the time, it's like, oh yeah, I'm focused on my career too. I'm cool with that. I'm like, are you? Because, but recently it's been like, yeah, I don't care that you're focused on your career. I care about how you're focused on it. It's just, everything is going back to you. And I realize it's because I'm fucking insecure about it. If someone's always talking about their career all the time, it's, you always talk about the things probably not that you feel the best about. Maybe those people that always talk about being gay is because they feel uncomfortable about that, or they feel uncomfortable about it, or they think you are uncomfortable about it, so then they're always bringing it up. Who fucking knows? Or women that are always talking about their weight, maybe, or people always looking for compliments, or guys. What's an equivalent for a guy talking about their balls don't itch? I don't know. I need to reconnect with. What do my male friends talk about? Their careers. The guys that I'm closest with, we talk about our careers a lot, and I know, by virtue of being good friends with most of them are pretty concerned with their fucking career. My 2 guy friends who've both gotten out of show business, we don't talk about work that much. Wow. We don't. My friend got out of entertainment. 2 of them. I have these 2 guy friends that got out of entertainment. 2 straight guy friends. Both got girlfriends. Boom. Like that. When they got out. But 2 straight guy friends, and we used to talk about career stuff all the time. Now, when I talk to them, they ask me about career stuff. And then when I ask them about it, they're like, same old, or it's going well. And I'll be like, oh, that's amazing. They're like, yeah. And I'm kind of like, so, when you do that talk shit, so you want to talk shit, it's like a going fishing expedition. I love the fish in regards to talking shit. I'll take that fishing pole. Things are good. Yeah. Now I don't know their goddamn coworkers though, but I can fish around back. Oh, things are good. Yeah. What do you think of how's the HR department? Oh, they're all right. I don't really see them. Oh, yeah. Any office parties? Yeah, it's boring though. You don't want to hear about that. I'm like, nah. So if there's anyone that has a drinking problem, anyone doing coke in the bathroom, someone who's a little much, someone who's a little nosy, nothing. God, when you're friends with someone, you got to have a mutual thing to talk shit about, Luckily, both of these guys, we've been friends for long enough that we will have an endless stream of people to compare notes on. So, those friendships are going to be ripe The garden of friendship there is ripe as all hell because they were like, well, what's Did up to? I'm like, let me tell you what they are up to. I don't know, but I'll look it up on Instagram. Yeah. But we don't talk about the career stuff because they're not insecure about their careers anymore. So we'll talk about other things. Think about that. Is that true? Is that theory true? Let me know. emmasbunker@gmail.com. Do we talk an extreme amount about things that we're proud of or insecure about? Or is it a mix of both? What do you find yourself gravitating towards the most conversation-wise? And where does pop culture fall into that? Like when we talk about pop culture, is that us just looking to check out? Is that us looking to connect because then we've got a common focal point? Or is it something that we're insecure about? I don't know. It all kind of like mixes in. But so with the narcissism. So last night, my girlfriend mentioned she had a couple glasses of wine and she said something about narcissistic tendencies. And I was like, do you think I'm a narcissist? And she was like, I think you have narcissistic tendencies, but I don't mean that in a bad way. And I was like, oh, that's a bad way. And I was like, if that's true, I want to know so I can change. Or it's like, because if it's hurting someone, then I want to know. Or I want to know if they really think that so I can cancel them. Get the fuck out of here, bitch. I didn't say that. If she listens to this, I'll bet I was joking when I said that. But it's like I'd want to know. And then I'd be like, and I need to think about that. Because do I need to be that way at a self-perseverance to push it through so I can get things to the next level? I haven't put everything into trying to make it an entertainment to stop right here. My therapist said, because she was like, my therapist and my mom were both like, well, maybe, my therapist doesn't talk like this. My mom was like, well, now maybe. Because I bought a couple stocks right when the market crashed. Bought some stocks. And then they went up. So let me tell you guys something. The stock market, when it goes down, it's going to go up. Not all of them. But the core ones, blue chip stocks. And do not get intimidated. If I'm talking about this and you're like, oh, I don't know about that, you can fucking learn. Let me tell you something you can learn. You listen to me. Even if this is the first time tuning in, which thank you so much. I'm telling you, let me tell you something. I shit my pants before. I've got irritable bowel syndrome. And I'm so bad at planning and so bad at putting shit together. I've literally been in public, pooped my fucking pants while waiting to get to the bathroom and then had to take like I'm a mess. And I made some money in the stock market after it went down. I'm lucky I didn't have any. I'm lucky that I had some money to put in there. I'm also lucky that I was exposed to conversations growing up about the stock market because this is how these things are perpetuated, where it's like it works for some people because it's ingrained in that class privilege that they get. Now that other information is out there, but when it's like, oh, I don't understand that. I said to poop my pants because I'm like, I understand it now. I don't understand it because I went out necessarily. I've gone out and read about it now, but growing up, my dad was always talking about it. I have a lot of bank family that is in banking. And this is the thing. These core things, diversified companies, when it's going to go down, okay, you can look and it'll say what the 52-week high and the 52-week low is, right? And when something is going to fall somewhere in there, generally, you don't want to go for something super risky, but when you go for something that goes down because of a crash, a company like Visa, for example, if Visa goes out of business because of all that's happening, guess what? Everyone has bigger problems in the stock market. It's Armageddon. It's fucking Armageddon. It's not like I lost my money. It's like, hey, there's no money. Now our currency is butt plugs because things have gone fucking crazy. Things have gone crazy. There's no, if the reason that the market will always get bailed out is because that's where world wealth is. And they're they control the politics and they control everything. So they're going to get the handouts and bailed out way quicker than the people that don't have power. That's where the power is. So for that to crumble, and I'm not saying it's necessarily right or wrong. I mean, the devil is at work somewhere in a lot of this. But it's like, if the stock market never goes up, then we have bigger problems than the stock market. Do you understand what I'm saying? If it goes down, it's going to go up because what happens, people freak out. The market's down. Uh-oh. I bought a share for $15. Now it's down to $10. Now I sell it. No, motherfucker, now you just lost $5. And be smart about it. Please, God, don't go be like, I just went and put my retirement fund into the stock market because that Justin Bieber lookalike comedian said it was a good... No. I don't want them playing this at your funeral where they're like, what happened? They jumped off a bridge after, and then they just play me being like, the market's always going to go up, guys. Take it with a grain of salt. But I'm just saying, if it's something I can even mildly understand, you got this. What are those fucking people? Actually, you've been through more than this. It's a lot of it is actually like common sense. Fuck those people. I don't know about you, but I use hate to propel me. Fuck that and fuck them. You know? I don't even know who I'm talking about specifically, but also I do. You can learn about this shit. I promise you. Who the fuck are they? Trying to make it, they don't teach us about how money in school because people benefit off of other people not knowing about how stuff works. Because then it's easier. If people are uninformed, it's easier to sell to them because they don't know the tips and the tricks. They don't know the tips and the tricks. You know? It's just, here's the thing with comedy. It's like, there's like certain things that make something a joke. And then comedians will disguise that because if you know what the tips and tricks are, then you see the joke coming and then surprise is one of the key elements of a joke. Like, I'm going to look up a common joke because I think all my jokes are so shittily written. One of them doesn't even work. Classic joke. You know, let's see. Oh, I bet this is going to not. Okay. Who popped up first? Ellen. Oh, she's been in hot water, right? Recently. She had I got to tell you this. I'm not going to say. All right, I'm going to say one of her jokes that I'm just going from memory here because I didn't look this up. This was not where I planned on taking this conversation, but, she said, wait, I don't want to botch an Ellen joke, guys. Ellen joke about her grandma. Hold on, I'm going to bring it back around to my narcissism. Okay. This is the Ellen joke, word for word. My grandmother started walking 5 miles a day when she was 60. She's 97 now, and we don't know where the hell she is. So the assumption, the setup is what's called setup. My grandmother started walking 5 miles a day when she was 60. The assumption is, oh shit, your grandma's getting some exercise. Maybe she's trying to get some fucking ass at the nursing home, trying to get her little butt in shape or whatever. The assumption is she's taking walks every day. She's 97 now. Okay, we're still assuming. We're assuming now she's going to say, and she is in great shape. But that wouldn't be funny. That'd be like, yeah, we predicted that shit. My grandmother started walking 5 miles a day when she was 60. She's 97 now. And we don't know where the hell she is. Surprise! She wasn't talking about her walking for exercise. She's talking about that bitch was trying to escape. Ha. You laugh at the surprise. So there's all these tips and tricks. The more people that know about that, the harder it is to surprise them. So then they don't buy into the comedy routine. They might appreciate it for other reasons, but the less people that know, then the easier it is to surprise them. The less people that know about the money, the easier it is to sell stuff to them. Now, there's a lot of intangible stuff here where it's like, even if people do know. Now, I know the tips and tricks because I've looked at it in terms of comedy stuff, read it. Doesn't mean I can write for fuck's sake. I'm all right. Well, I always say I'm all right, and then I see a bunch of people that suck, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'm pretty good. But then I see some people that are great, and I'm like, oh, I got somebody. Oh, how do I do this? It's narcissist, maybe. But you can still know I think that you can still know all the tips and tricks, and then there can be a level playing ground, because once everyone has the same, like, info that we can get out there, that's when we're really playing ball with, it's just everyone's scared. We're all trying to get things that we didn't earn handed to us. So it's the fight or flight response. And it's really hard to stop and be the good guy when you see other people getting shit, that they didn't have to work for. It's like, why does the bad thing, why do I have to be the bigger person here? I'm not talking about anything specific when I say that. Okay. So, I apologize. I went off on the stock market, but I just want to express more than any goddamn thing. Learn about it. If you're like, fuck you, I'm in debt doing paycheck to paycheck. I apologize. That's not where I'm speaking from. I so don't mean to be inconsiderate, but I genuinely feel the less afraid we are of things that we're like, I'm not involved in that. That's not for me. Fuck that. People benefit off of us thinking that's not for me. That's not for me. Why not? Do you actually think that motherfucker's smarter than you? No. No. I promise you not. There's so many different types of intelligence. That's what someone like me has to say to myself constantly, because I like fuck up directions, traffic signs, and most of my daily interactions. I just mutter, well, there's different types of intelligence. You know, emotional intelligence, but you can apply the types of intelligence you have to the types of intelligence you want. Okay, back to narcissism. So she's fucking, you got narcissistic tendencies now. I've had other people say this before too, so I'm like, shit. And I remember when I was in a relationship with a therapist, okay? My girlfriend before my girlfriend now was an art therapist. People would always go, what? I go, art therapist. What? Art therapist. What does that mean? Well, she's a trained therapist, but if someone was overwhelmed with traditional forms of communication like talk therapy, then they could give, the art therapist could give them prompts to help them express themselves artistically. It was really cool. You know? It was really cool. They should have put a therapist that specializes in art, saying art therapist, and everyone's like, oh my God, do I draw a stick figure? And then you tell me if I'm bipolar? You know, sometimes I would sign receipts and stuff, and I'd be like, uh-oh, she's going to see my childhood issues. But she would talk about her clients that were narcissists. And the way I ended things with her was very narcissistic, because what I've learned is narcissism is a lack of empathy. And I really was brutal about that. It's one of the things, you know, I really think that we're going to, when we, especially this time now with Corona, like when we look back on all the things, because we're stripped of so many things right now, I really do believe on our, and then let's talk about what happens, what we think happens when we die for a second. All right, let's do another episode on that. Because I want to hear from you. Safe space. You know I'm not going to judge you. In order to make my point about learning about the stock market, I told you I pooped my pants. I know I'm talking about in the past 7 months. All right? Maybe it's been about 8 months, but when I was pooping them a lot. It was about a year, actually, because the Accutane cleared it up. Fuck. So I'm just saying I'm not going to judge you. As long as it doesn't hurt kids or animals or other people, I'm not judging you. So. And also, yeah, but the thing is, you know, okay, it comes up. And when I was in the relationship with the art therapist, and she would talk about how narcissists are, the reason I went off on that is I'm just not proud of how I handled that. And you can be someone who's not a shitty person and do really inconsiderate things. And I think a lot of mine comes out in relationships, but I'm also very hard on myself. And I'm saying all this to say, so we can figure out what the fuck a narcissist is together. So if you're dating one or whatever the hell, or you are one, like I said, you know, we can figure that shit out and figure out what the fuck are we going to do about it. All right. Or do we need to tell all my girlfriends and ex-girlfriends to go fuck themselves? Not all of them. I'm just saying it's come up. And when it comes up, I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to make it in showbiz. And they're like, we get that and I support you. And I'm like, and I want to support you in whatever the fuck you do. What is it that you do? What's your name? Just kidding.
Who?
Just kidding. Could you imagine if I was like, I support you too. Who are you? Like, your fucking girlfriend in 2 years? I'm like, we've been 2 years. I usually tap out about 6 to 12 months. Okay. So what? So it's the art therapist talking about her clients that are the hardest to deal with: the narcissists, lack of self-awareness, and then people with borderline personality disorder. Those are the hardest to deal with. So she's talking about that. And I was like, I think I've told you guys about this before. I apologize if I haven't. And I apologize if I have. But I say, you know, I was always questioning, am I a narcissist? Am I a narcissist? You go, no, you're so neurotic. I go, but maybe neuroticism is a part of narcissism because it's very self-involved and you're not being of service. You know, something that helps me not drink is trying to help other people. That's when you feel the happiness. That's when you feel the serenity, when you do something for someone else when you don't expect something in return. That's the fucking money shot right there. You know? So I go, am I a narcissist? You know, I'm just neurotic. And then I did I was awful towards the end of that relationship. We stopped talking, and I just swear to God, I wanted to be like, wait, am I a narcissist now? I'm not asking to be a dick. I'm just genuinely curious how much I need to work on this. My therapist said, she just thinks I'm neurotic. She doesn't think I'm a narcissist. So let's read about this together. What is narcissism? Narcissists have a prominent place in the popular imagination, and the label narcissist is widely deployed to refer to people who appear too full of themselves. Okay, interesting. Now, I don't think I fit that, but I do think being neurotic and being full of self-doubt can be full of yourself too, because you're literally full from thinking of your fucking self. The article says, and this is from Psychology Today, so fucking PhDs in these motherfuckers. There's always a growing sense that narcissism is on the rise around the world, especially among young people. Okay, now this is me speaking. I'm guessing that's because of social media. Everyone's posting pictures of themselves. But is that fucking narcissism, or is that just trying to keep up with the Joneses? What's what? Okay. So, but psychological research does not support that notion. Awesome. Narcissism, like many other traits, is properly viewed on a spectrum. The trait is normally distributed, that was dyslexia, that I take responsibility for, in the population, with most people scoring near the middle and a few scoring at either extreme. Pathological narcissism is a form of narcissistic personality disorder, has always been rare and remains so. It affects an estimated 1% of the population, a prevalence that hasn't changed since clinicians started measuring it. What an interesting thing to start to measure. How does that work? How do you feel about yourself? Fucking awesome. But here's the thing. I want people to feel awesome about themselves. God damn. You know? Traits of narcissism. It's easy to slap the narcissist label on someone who spends a bit too much time talking about her career. Fuck, okay, that's minus 20 points for me. Or whoever seems to doubt himself. OMG, motherfucker. I talk about my career and doubt myself constantly. But narcissism is more complicated than that. Thank God. More complicated than it may seem. It's not a surplus of self-esteem, but more accurately encompasses a hunger for appreciation or admiration. Fuck! A sense of specialness. Well, I don't think they're referring to special ed. You know, well, fuck me, guys. I don't know. I think I'm profoundly normal in so many ways, and I think I'm an idiot about it, you know? Like, I won't drink any water, and then I'll be like, I feel like shit. Then I drink water, and it's like, oh yeah, you're not special. You need to drink water like everyone else, dipshit. But then I will be like, but I also feel like there's, you know, in terms of work, I've tried to cultivate connecting with people because I feel not a specialness about that, but a natural inclination towards it can work. What I'm trying to tell you guys is I was really popular in high school, and I'm fucking trying to go pro. That's what it is. Also, to set the scene, I went to school in bumfuck Maine where there were literally under 400 kids. So let's put popular in quotes there. People felt bad for me. Okay, keep it moving. No, just kidding. I was cool. And I mean, I was like not an asshole about it either. Except for the gay kids because I was in the closet, so I felt uncomfortable with that. So I was obsessed with gay kids because I was like, what are they doing? Because I was gay. See what I'm saying? We talk about and fixate on the things we're insecure about. Back to what a narcissist is. A sense of specialness and a desire to be the center of attention. Well, fucking A. And an expectation of special treatment reflecting perceived higher status. Now that's interesting. Because whenever I get something or someone's nice to me, I'm like, oh my God, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. Da-da-da. But then if someone treats me really shitty, I'll be like, go fuck yourself. But then also at the same time, you know, I'll get my hand, people be like, I can't believe you're doing that. And I'm like, yeah, it is what it is. But I will get bothered too if someone's treated me crappy. Maybe I'm missing the mark on that. How do I spot a narcissist? I don't know. Maybe you spot one by looking in the mirror while you're doing a podcast about, am I a narcissist? That's your fucking, okay. I'm sweating, guys. I really am. Well, I'm sweating because I turned all the air things off so you could have good sound. I care about you. How do I spot a narcissist? Narcissism is characterized by a grandiose sense of self-importance. I don't feel that. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like what I have to say is important. But I believe that what everyone has to say is important, except for like two motherfuckers. A lack of empathy for others. I don't have that. I can tell you that I am very empathetic. A need for excessive admiration. That I think probably I'm guilty of. But I never got any admiration as a kid because I was fucking awful at sports, dyslexic. I'm on the soccer field. I'm first of all overweight, running in the wrong direction, you know, for no reason because I couldn't get the ball because I sucked at the sports. Not doing well in special ed. Fucking not doing well in my relationships back then because it was with guys. And I was gay as a motherfucker. Also, so back to how to spot a narcissist. The belief that one is unique and deserving of special treatment. This is kind of like that thing where it's like, are you an alcoholic? Take the quiz. Do you drink to escape things? Fucker, that's why everyone drinks generally. Now, some people take it a bunch of steps farther, but you could read that quiz and almost anyone could be an alcoholic in that regard. You know. If you encounter someone who consistently exhibits these behaviors, you may be dealing with a narcissistic individual. Am I in a relationship with a narcissist? Now, I know I'm not. But the way they tell you, if your partner repeatedly attempts to isolate you from friends and family, I do not do that. Do you? Does your partner try to do that? Let me tell you, I can give two fucks. The more someone hangs out with their friends and family, great. But let me tell you, here's the dark side of that. Because I'm like, less work for me. Oh, you got friends? Nothing's hotter. Oh, you got a fucking cousin that you're really close with and you hang out with, you get a lot of emotional support from. Can I put them on a payroll when I get some money? Which I will any day now from these stocks. No, seriously, I'll fucking wax your cousin's car and clean their toilet. Kiss them on the butt. Get some fucking more support, the fucking better. Oh, please. Next time I look at porn, it's just going to be someone being like, oh my God, like, I hope you don't mind that I've got so much support from other people. I don't even know if I can handle how much support I can handle from you. I'm like, well, let me dip in once in a while. But other than that, great. So among other signs, your partner is my boss is a narcissist. Let's just go with, fuck your boss. Fuck your boss till you become the boss, then fuck everyone who didn't work as hard as you, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Or did your boss get a handout? Double fuck that guy. Double fuck him. That's what I say to that. How to handle a narcissist. Acknowledge your frustrations, appreciating where the behavior comes from, and refusing to lose your own sense of purpose. Never lose your own sense of purpose, okay? That's me emphasizing that. Sometimes, see, this is where I'm like, maybe I am one because I can feel like I get I got to try to do this, I got to try to do that it can steamroll people. That's why, they can steamroll. And so so if I am a narcissist and then you are dating a narcissist, here's a tip. Don't lose your sense of purpose anywhere in there. One, because I don't know how to speak for anyone, but to me, that's the best thing you can have because you do have a purpose. There's a fucking reason that sperm and that egg were conjoined. And you popped through, beat out all those other little motherfuckers. You know? I asked my mom once, what's your biggest regret? She goes, I never felt my sense of purpose. There's purpose in everything you know, in every acting scene, it's all about the character. When you're auditioning for something, the acting coach, the acting teacher says, find the objective. There's a desire in everything you're doing. That's literally what, even if you're just laying in bed, there's a desire to fucking lay. When I'm laying in bed, there's a desire for me to tell everyone and everything to go shut the fuck up. There's a purpose in that. Depression or whatever else. They say this. Researchers who classify narcissists as either vulnerable or grandiose argue that specific approaches are warranted for each type. Wow, vulnerable. Fuck me. How do I deal with a narcissistic boss? You got to kiss their ass until you take their shit. That's the impossibility of love. Oh God, this is scary, guys. Narcissists' need for admiration and praise often lead them to be charming and charismatic, which can quickly spark romance. But the failure to understand the inner world of their partner person, to experience empathy, makes it impossible for many people with narcissistic personality disorder to truly fall in love and build a trusting, equal partnership. I feel like I'm going to throw up. Is anybody else listening to this like, fuck me? Or are you listening to this like, fuck Dave? You're in a relationship with someone named Dave. Fuck Sarah. Fuck Kendra. Fuck Mark. You listen to this like, yeah, that mother, you're getting cooking. Just picture someone just kind of bopping around like, oh yeah, oh that's what it is. I fucking knew it. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. Please. I'm just adding to the buffet of conversations and thoughts that exist in your brain that is filled with many other purposeful things, because you got you. Who else does? Thanks for letting me in your ears. Now it's saying, why don't narcissists fall in love? Narcissists may show passion and charm in the early stages of dating. I'm gonna shoot. Fuck. Okay. But for most narcissists, relationships are transactional. I don't know about that. I don't relate to that. I understand that for sure, but I don't relate to that. All right. They provide positive attention and sexual satisfaction. Those are good. To bolster a narcissist's ego and self-esteem. Right. The objective is to enjoy uncommitted pleasure. Yeah. And most narcissists lose interest in the relationship as the expectation for intimacy increases. Okay, I think I'm a narcissist. Fuck me. Oh, yeah. In the beginning, when the person sees you, it was like a sexual stallion. I'm too dyslexic and ADHD for me to keep up that facade, you know. Someone would be like 8 months into a relationship, if I told someone to bend over, they'd be like, what, I'm going to find your fucking keys? Shit. The jig is up. The expectation for intimacy increases, or they feel that they've conquered the challenge of securing a relationship. I got a lot of work to do, guys. What's the difference between selfishness and narcissism in a relationship? Narcissistic personality disorder is relatively rare. There are many more people who are simply selfish. The difference lies in whether the person is periodically mean and self-centered or whether they consistently lack empathy. Okay, let's think about that. The difference lies in whether the person is periodically mean. That's interesting. Okay, I'm not mean. And self-centered. I'm definitely not mean, so I do not relate to that. And I fucking hate people who are mean. Go fuck yourself. And self-centered, or whether they consistently lack empathy. I gotta spitball with someone about that. Okay, now here, this is really interesting, and I'm gonna wrap up this little conversation right now here. Why do narcissists make such a good first impression? Research suggests that people may initially be drawn to narcissists because they seem to possess stronger self-esteem than they really do, a trait that people often appreciate. Now, why is that? I understand that you see something, you think, for me, I'll just speak for myself, you know, it's like I'll think they know something I don't know. If they've got a strong sense of self. But also, if someone seems like they've got too strong a sense of self, I'm like, liar, pants on fire. You know, but normally, you'll be drawn to it. It's intoxicating to watch. I also looked up all these things about how to tell if you're dating a narcissist, but my narcissistic ass is tired out from reading about that. I hope that was interesting and this wasn't totally self-indulgent. I think this is an important, you know, we throw around the term a lot. So, I don't know, is there a narcissist in your life? How do you deal with it? emmasbunker@gmail.com. Are you a narcissist? How can we fucking figure it out together? Well, what the hell we're going to do? Got to figure out how to use that shit to our advantage. Actually, I'm only 20% kidding. Only 20% kidding.
How do you do that?
All right, not to be bringing everybody down. I'll tell you, I got some jokes I could tell you guys. But before we get to that, and I don't really. I'll tell you something else. I was thinking about reading about how stereotypes come true at yard sales. Because before we went into lockdown, I went to a yard sale there was gay guys at it. Funnest yard sale ever. That's as far as I've gotten in the joke. No, I'm just kidding. It was fun. That was the funnest fucking yard sale. And I thought, every gay male yard sale I've been to was fun. Now, totally using broad strokes here. Any lesbian yard sale. So I can only speak on this, how it fits in the sexuality spectrum here, because I am not a good enough writer to do comments on race about stereotypes coming true. But someone could. Couldn't you see Cat Williams being like, Puerto Ricans do this, white people do this, black people do this at yard sales and fucking being great about it? Yeah, I'm not there yet. But I just noticed the difference between gay men and lesbians at yard sales. That's where the stereotypes come true, because the gay man ones were fucking fun. Music playing. It was a good times. Lesbian yard sales, nothing is sadder. It's just a butch woman clutching a crock pot. You're like, is that for sale? They're like, no, we're getting back together. You're like, all right, I'm going to go back to the gay men and bisexuals because they're nice to me. I swear to God, there's something funny there. These fucking depressing ass lesbian yard sales. You'll be like, oh, are these hors d'oeuvres you had? And they're like, no, that's a shawl I'm knitting. Don't touch it. These fucking mean ass. Now, I bet people who identify as queer are pretty fun yard sales. And straight people runs the gamut. But anyway, okay. So I wanted to do a little thing on like, what the fuck happened to Tara Reid? Do you guys remember Tara Reid? I started thinking about her because I watched American Pie for the first time in years. Fun movie. And that was everywhere. And there's a few people in that were like, what the fuck? What happened to them? You know? Remember Jennifer Coolidge played the Stifler's mom? And think about Stifler. He was in a lot of stuff too. And you're like, what happened? What happened? Did they not evolve, or what went down in the DMs? Not what went down on the back end there, you know? Because there's always a reason. People are like, oh, the things are crazy. It doesn't make sense. Like, no, there's a reason. It might not be something we want to hear. It might not be something that makes sense religiously, but it'll fucking, you know. First thing now I love Selena Gomez, huge fan. First thing I ask when I see someone who's making it in a show business starting from that young age, I go, did Usher find them on YouTube, or who are their parents? Who's the parents that knew the casting guy, that knew the fucking agent? There's no reason that most 11-year-olds have an agent or whatever. What's the backstory here? Are they more supremely talented than other 11-year-olds? Maybe, but whose fucking grandma worked at a talent agency? Okay, so Tara Reid. I'm like, what happened to her? Because she was everywhere. She was the blonde one in American Pie. She was like she had the American sweetheart vibe. She was like a little bit quirky. You know, she was the one in American Pie, if you watch it, that wanted to lose her virginity. Okay. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. That was it. And think about this. I don't want to make anyone freak out, but American Pie came out in 1999. Whoa. Trippy. So, what happened? What happened to Tara Reid? She was popping. She was all over the place. So I'll tell you. She made some bad decisions, but also it looks like I'm reading between the lines here. I think some form of a drinking problem was involved because she got some botched up plastic surgery. Now I got enough Botox to kill a huge chicken. Okay, I'm down with it because maybe that's a narcissist thing. Fucking whatever. She got some botched up plastic surgery, and there was these pictures of her smiling and her tits hanging out. And then I read this article where she said that she was at this Diddy's 35th birthday party or something, and all these people were taking pictures of her, and she looks down, her tits hanging out, and then she's like, please don't post those pictures. And then they did, and then it was like, she's got the worst tits in America. That's what people said. Doesn't that suck? Think what a lonely night that was. The night before she knew those pictures were going to happen. And that's like before Instagram, before Twitter, so she can't be like, heads up, I'm going to have a bad day. Can someone send me a virtual hug or an edible arrangements? Those things are delicious. That was me speaking. I don't know how she feels about them. If she doesn't like edible arrangements, though, I mean, what the fuck? Who doesn't like that crisp, cold pineapple hitting your tongue? Or the strawberries with the chocolate done perfectly? So good. So she couldn't have been given a heads up. This is one of the things we've got I can speak to you directly, and I appreciate that so much. There weren't these avenues of communication, you know? That must have been a lonely night. So you know what? In this uncovering of what happened to Tara Reid, I'm like, wow, she's got my respect, because I would have just fucking gotten a food truck in Alaska. You know, I would have been like, oh, that's about to go down. I'm out. So then it's like, oh, she's got the worst breasts, blah, blah, blah. After that, couple movies that didn't really take off. She was with, there was the Josie and the Pussycat Dolls. I never saw that. I don't know. I didn't see it. She was in with something, Ashton Kutcher, my boss's daughter. So she's making money. And do you remember this? There's a while where she was like partying a lot. There's always pictures of her and Paris Hilton. Wonder what happened with them. What happened there? But she was always she was doing a lot of partying. And then she got in Scrubs. I don't even remember that. And then she had the reputation as a party girl, but so did Paris Hilton, and it worked out great for her. So what happened with Tara Reid to make it seem like she was she tough to work with, and maybe Paris Hilton was really easy to work with? I don't know. But I did find this out. I found out that she's been in these movies that when this popped up, I was like, good for her. It's these movies called Sharknado about sharks in a tornado. So she's been making all these like random. I still haven't even Googled it because I was like, hey. But I guess there's been like 5 of them. So she's still out there and she's still trying. And here's why I'm like, good for her, because after the Diddy thing, I would have called it a day. I would have gone to Alaska and gotten that fucking food, taken my tits and, gotten out of there. Could you imagine botched up plastic surgery and still having to be in the public eye? Fuck. And, okay, it definitely seems like drinking played a big part in it because she's going to rehabs. Trying to get sober. I hope she did. I don't know what the final, if you know something, I don't know, but it seems like what happened with her was, I'm going to say, drink too much partying, and then, but it's like tricky because it's like some people do too much partying and they're fine. Like Paris Hilton again. What was that other one? Nicole Richie again. And then you got someone like Tara Reid, Lindsay Lohan, they go off the ridges. So that's off the ridges, off the Richter. They go off the fucking, what do they go off of? Off the bridge. It's not fatal, but they go off the fucking, out the zoo. I make up saying so much. I just try to say them real confidently, like all narcissistic style. I'll stop fixing on it. No, but it falls off in a bad way. So what was it with Tara Reid and Lindsay Lohan? Okay, here's one thing. Both Nicole Richie and Paris Hilton are from entertainment families, so maybe they knew how to be like, oh, no. And you got Lindsay Lohan's mom who's like trying to manage her. She's got coke coming out her own eyeballs. Tara Reid's making Sharknado movies. Now, this is why, through doing this, I'm like, fuck, she has my 100% respect because she just kept going with it. Sharknado, okay, ended up making over $4 billion, all of these movies. That's what I read for the sci-fi history, whatever. I don't really like sci-fi, and I'm pretty ignorant about history, so this is all new to me. But she was doing this, and she did a bunch of them. And I couldn't find what the hell she is up to now. I mean, she's not in stuff that's made her reemerge, even though Sharknado was, successful. But she's doing horror movies, apparently. Got sober, let us pray, and she's doing horror movies, because that would suck to be fucking boozing it up on a horror movie set. Blood everywhere. You're like, is that a prop, or did that come from my night last night? There's a head over there. Did I do that? What do you know about Tara Reid? Give me the intel. Because she was everywhere. She dated Carson Daly. You remember that? Oh, this is one thing I found. I was like, I'll get it together. There was some reality show that she was auditioning for. It was some couples reality show. And her and whoever she was auditioning with got booted because they found out they weren't a real couple. So that, to me, I'm like, all right, that's just desperate. That's make a billion Sharknadoes all you want. Pretending you're in a relationship with someone for a reality TV thing. You are. That's like you're milking a cow and all the udders are like, have not been used. You start putting a finger in its ear, being like, poke, 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 poke. Does this make any milk happen? And it's like, no, you're above and beyond desperate, and now you're causing harm. That's what that's like. I have so many, I had people send in their dreams to me, and I got so many of them analyzed, and I'm excited to share them. I really am, because there's a lot of learning in that. And it's just interesting, having people share what their dreams are. It's interesting. And then hearing about what they mean. Now that I know a little bit more about it, and then I can analyze it more. Like the dream that I had when I realized now dogs usually are symbols of like friendship or loyalty or unconditional love. So when you have a dream and something's happening with a dog, it's like, okay, it's unconditional love being challenged. Am I craving? What am I craving? What am I worried about? What's going on? So the more you know. Okay. Are you a stockbroker too? Fucking give me the tips and tricks so I can share them. All right. Thank you guys so much. This has been another episode of Emma's Bunker. One foot in front of the other. Email me, emmasbunker@gmail.com. All of the sound effects are done by my man, Chris Thomas. If you're thinking of doing any photography or audio, anything, you know, you can hit him up. I'm looking for his email in real time as I fucking say this. Let me get it for you. I think I know it by heart. I should know it more, but I'm pretty sure it's Chris. Wow. I suck. Oh, I got it. Oh, I did. I knew it. Should have trusted myself. Chris@ChrisThomasPhoto.com. You can email Chris about audio editing, engineering, getting pictures taken, all that shit. You can email me at emmasbunker@gmail.com. There's not going to be video of this because I didn't feel like it. And I think I can speak a little bit more comfortably and honestly when I'm not thinking about it being on YouTube. For some reason, this feels more personal because, I don't know, something about when you know people are seeing it, it makes it seem more like, oh, I got to put on a show or, people are going to see it. But I know you are going to hear it. If you hear it, you're hearing it, and I appreciate that. It's a weird mix, but that's why I love podcasting and I love audio and talk radio because of the connection. If I meet you in person, you go, I listen to that. I go, thank you. Thank you. And anybody I know that's a buddy of mine that does this, podcasting specifically, echoes that 100%. You know, you're the most powerful part of this equation. You listening, you sitting, you whatever the fuck you're doing, you sticking your hand in the jar to get another vitamin gummy. Stop that, by the way. You're going to get sick. You are the most powerful part of any equation. You know, it's so, there's so many times I didn't vote elections. I'm like, again, you know? And then what? There's like 8 million of me thinking that, 8 billion of me thinking that. Don't recycle. Whatever you do, it's not just what you do. It's a stake in what probably a lot of other people are doing too. So, I don't know, guys. Let's all try. I know we're all trying, but fucking, I'm going to try to recycle more and drink more water. Those are the promises I can make. I know I've been saying it for a long time, but what am I going to do? Stop even trying to try? This has been another episode of Emma's Bunker. Please rate and review on iTunes. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Emma's Bunker. For a video of this episode, go to www.emmacomedy.com and click the YouTube link. Subscribe on iTunes so you don't miss bonus content, and look out for a new episode every Wednesday. Skeet, skeet. Skeet, skeet.